Brosette was, through a great deal of fault of its own, one of the creators of the junk wax era of football and several other sports, and therefore the cause of their own eventual downfall. They saw the 1980s print runs of baseball and brought that insanity to football. They swamped the market. They created beautiful designs. They created hideous designs. And they crashed and burned like so many other card companies of the era. 1992 Pro Set was, in my opinion, one of the very best football card sets ever designed until they released Series 2, and then it becomes one of the most regrettable. Let's take a look at the set, the cards, the inserts, and the way that Pro Set tried to limit their part in the coming collapse of the sports card collecting marketplace of the 1990s that they themselves would create. The first thing that most people notice about 1992 Pro Set football is that the Series 1 design is basically perfect. It's clean, with a full bleed photo and minimal text. In fact, because of these design choices, these cards grade really, really well. Of the 1,900-some cards that PSA has in their database, more than half of them are 10s. The cardboard quality is fantastic, the print quality is fantastic, the photo choices are generally good. The Series 1 is about as good as you could ever get for a football card set. And then you see Series 2. Series 2, which contained cards numbers 401 through 700, was an awful design, with every single aspect of the card changed. This lack of continuity breaks up 1992 Pro Set into what might as well be two completely different product lines. And just for the record, Pro Set did introduce Pro Set Power, a separate set, in 1992 as well, further watering down their brand. These cards grade fairly well too, but who would want to grade them? As an example, Mark Rypien, MVP of Super Bowl 26, and therefore the most important player on the defending championship team, only has had 4 total cards graded from 1992 Pro Set in the last 33 years. Nonetheless, Pro Set did do a few things right. They released only 7,500 hobby-specific cases of Series 1, with hobby-specific inserts like the Emmitt Smith hologram series. Smith, of course, was going into his 3rd year and was already looking like a hero to the league. There was also the Ground Force insert, also hobby-specific, which was the same as the base card, but had a little Thunderbolt logo on it. Now, broadly speaking, 1992 Pro Set cards are pretty much worthless. Part of the reason these cards don't hold any value is the relatively high print run. Yes, there was a limited number of the hobby-only cases, but in terms of the non-hobby cases, a little bit less limited, that's for sure. And 1992 was only the 3rd draft class in history without a single Hall of Fame rookie, so there aren't really a ton of chase cards here. In fact, it's the coaches who dominate card values in 1992 Pro Set. So, without further ado, let's quit jabbering and see who made the cut. Number 1 is Bill Belichick's Error card. Card number 144 has 2 versions, one with head coach on the back and one without. It's the one with no head coach that carries the most value in this set. None of the others crack even $40. Belichick himself is a first-ballot Hall of Famer and a great student of the game. This is his 2nd-year card and features him stalking the sidelines in Cleveland in, of all things, a shirt with sleeves. Number 2 is Bill Cowher's rookie card. Cowher would replace the legendary Chuck Noll in Pittsburgh after the 1991 season. He looks young, vibrant, and a little uncomfortable being photographed in his office. This card will get you about $140 on a regular basis. Number 3 is our first player card, Barry Sanders' Stat Leaders, card number 13. Barry makes a ton of appearances on this list, and this is the first of them. He led the league in touchdowns in 1991 and gets a special little stamp all his own right up here for his trouble. Number 4 is Santa Claus. Pro Set dropped Santa Claus cards into products for several years, and they were a highlight for collectors to search for. If you could find one and grade it well, it would be worth about $90 today. Number 5 is Jimmy Johnson, card number 153, at $75. This is a fantastic landscape shot of Johnson standing on the sidelines at what looks to be Candlestick Park. He would win the Super Bowl this season and cement his legacy as a great football mind and leader. Number 6 is Mike Holmgren. Another rookie head coach who would end up in the Hall of Fame, Holmgren took over the Packers in 1992 after several years with the 49ers as an assistant coach. As quarterbacks coach for the Niners, he turned Steve Young into a great passer, and in his first year with the Packers, he was about to do the same for Brett Favre. Speaking of, card number 7 is Brett Favre's number 505 for about $70. 1992 was Favre's first year with the Packers, as he was traded to them by the Falcons in exchange for a first-round pick. The Falcons would later trade that pick to the Cowboys, who would use it on a pretty forgettable cornerback. This is the first Series 2 card in the list, and the most valuable. Number 8 is Barry Sanders, card number 169. The early 1990s were really the best time to be a running back collector. Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, Bo Jackson, Neil Anderson, Ernest Biner, Thurman Thomas, and oh, by the way, 1992 was Ricky Watters' rookie year too. But collectors lean hard on Barry, as reflected by the price point for this card. Card number 9 is Barry Sanders number 421, his Pro Bowl card for about $42. I told you, collectors love Barry Sanders. Card number 10 is Joe Montana, card number 649. Now, Joe Cool was on the shelf for all of 1991 and most of 1992, recovering from an elbow injury in the 1990 NFC title game, where Leonard Marshall basically destroyed him. Montana's 49ers career would be over, although he did come back in 1992 for a couple of games. This card represents the last year that Montana would play for the 49ers, and in fact, this photo was taken several years before. If you look closely, you'll see that those are the 49ers' 1990 uniform socks. Card number 11 represents one of the great failures of the NFL. Todd Marinovich and Kenny Stabler both shared a uniform number, and this is one of the cards that could be cooler and more valuable if more of them were graded, or to be honest, if Marinovich hadn't flamed out. But he did, and only 8 of these cards have ever found their way to PSA. 2 of them came back gems, and only 1 has sold in the last year. Number 12 is the Emmitt Smith number 150 Ground Force insert. This is, frankly, a pretty cool card. It's got a great photo, and again, Emmitt was on top of the world in 1992. The Ground Force logo seems almost unnecessary. I mean, it is unnecessary, as this was a hobby-specific insert of the card, but still, it's great. Honestly, it's almost a shame that this card is so cheap. Number 13 is another Emmitt Smith card. Card number ES2. It's a hologram. Now, remember how I said that these cards grade well? Well, when it comes to the hologram inserts for Emmitt Smith, I lied. They do not. They do not grade well at all. The surface is very prone to scratching, and most of us who have one of these cards have figured that out already, much to our own chagrin. A total of 25 ES2 cards have been sent to PSA, of which only 3 have come back at a 9 or a 10. SGC has only ever seen 2 of them, one of which came back as a 9. But they're really, really cool looking, especially this one. As a holographic version of Emmitt's 1990 Pro Set rookie card, it's very collectible and pretty cool. And that's it. Nothing after this has any real value. 1992 would be the year that Pro Set would cut Ludwell Denny out of the company. He had founded the company and led its 1989 release, but he was driving the company into bankruptcy, and fast. But his replacement couldn't right the ship, and 1993 would be the last year that Pro Set produced cards, until the properties were bought up by Leaf in the 2020s. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe, comment down below. What 1992 Pro Set cards do you have? What 1992 Pro Set cards do you love the most? And as always, thanks for watching.